Good morning. It's 7 April, or almost 8 April anyway. Hey, I want to do my continuing thing is how could Sandestin be out of compliance, and how could all this stuff that Alan said the last 2 or 3 videos, yesterday I showed you some connect the dots. Everybody's waiting for somebody to do something, but I've already showed you the county employees are not going to admit they've been lying for 15 years. And Sheriff Atkinson is not going to investigate his cousin. But let's just go through this. So let me take you back a little bit of how long it's been since, the sheriff's been involved in, of the $500 million fraud. I think about 2009, and the sheriff admits it, we started coming to him. But here's the thing. Remember when I told you that the sheriff's cousin, Clay, he's the interim county attorney, and he's been that way over a year now. And we can't seem to want to hire a real attorney, like a full-time county attorney, because if you look on the agenda, you'll see that everything the county's doing, the closings and all, for these properties they want to buy, they're all being run through him and his business. I mean, he has no ethical requirement not to, because he's basically a contractor. He's an interim. He's not a county employee. He's just on a contract. He's rebuilding the county. And this guy got fired before as a county attorney for being improper. Yeah, that's right. He's been fired before. That's a problem we have in Walton County. We just keep rehiring people who've been in trouble. But this guy just said, I'm going to connect the dots for you. Remember, we're talking about how did Sandestin get a high rise approved, and how come the county is giving the developer paperwork telling a bank that this stuff's all in compliance and it's safe to lend all the money. See, banks rely on local governments to tell the truth. And they use those local government documents, just like we all use, to prove that they're entitled to loans. In about 2009, I started telling him this. Now, if you go look up at the Sandestin hearings, so here's what we ended up having. We ended up having SDI, whose homeowners association can't object to what he's doing, basically, is what I understand. The individuals could, but they're too scared, or they've been misinformed. But SDI is making an application to the county to build a high rise, claiming that their DRI, the Sandestin DRI, is in compliance, but it's not. Well, this guy knows it. He wanted to sue me over it, and I've got the papers. Him and Graham Fountain, when Graham Fountain was his assistant, they went to somebody to see if they could sue me and what they had to do, because I was telling them about this fraud, and I've got those emails. You know who that person was? So Mike Atkinson sought legal advice. You know who he sought it from? Dana Matthews. I've got those receipts. Dana Matthews advised the sheriff that I guess Sandestin wasn't a crime and he couldn't do anything to me, and it wasn't out of compliance, or mind your own business. Well, guess what? Dana Matthews is the same attorney who was representing the developer. And Clay's already admitted, Mike's cousin, that he had a conflict over Sandestin because he represented the developer when he was hired. It's in the audio, it's in the video, it's in the minutes. So this guy's conflicted with Sandestin. The attorney who presented Sandestin to the BCC is the same attorney who was advising the sheriff. What the hell? And y'all wonder how this happens. And if you'll go look at the county legal matrix and see the Warner Law Firm and the same group of people and political people in Tallahassee, they're never going to let anybody get investigated in Walton County because we're paying them millions. They'll say anything. So our county commissioners don't want to pay over like $125 an hour, but they got no problem paying all these outside firms and individual attorneys $250, $300 an hour and more, while they tell you they want to save you money and hire you a real legal team. All these hired attorneys are conflicted as hell because they're out there in the development world too. Just like Theriac. He's been on the opposite side of the county, and now he's gotten over $1 million off customary use. Go ask for a copy of the county's legal matrix because we're going to go over that. It's horrible. But back to the problem. This guy has an excuse from the lawyer who told these guys his development order is in compliance. His cousin, who also worked for the developer, told the BCC they'd have to approve it, and he was sitting there even though he was conflicted. He's the same guy who filed the motion on behalf of the county. He did not want Judge Green, and neither did the Sandestin homeowners because they don't want to pay for it either. He didn't want Judge Green to make a ruling on the standard. He wanted it dismissed. He wanted to continue to allow things to get approved just like they have for the last 16 years. But that's what's going on in Sandestin. Of course, nobody's going to investigate these crimes. It doesn't matter. It's $500 million. And the key people running this county are really a bunch of lawyers, and they're spending your money. Go look at the upcoming BCC agenda. We're about to sell industrial land at Mossy Head at prices less than 2016. Look at that idiot, Bill Infeld from the Economic Development Alliance. What he's doing is crazy. There's all kinds of changes to code. If we have all these drainage problems, how come in the last 4 years, none of these jokers, nobody in planning, nobody in engineering, we just keep building higher next to each other? These guys, I guess they don't know water runs downhill, but you know, they're talking to lawyers. What do you expect? And that's another day on the Alan Osborne Show. Look at the upcoming agenda. Look at all the garbage on there. We're about to apply for grants for water quality, but we're still building in Sandestin. And here's the argument I've heard for years. Alan, this Sandestin problem happened a long time ago, and that train has left the station. Okay, let's put this to practical application. This didn't happen long ago. Yeah, there were violations in Sandestin 20 years ago. So if we're violating water quality for 20 years, is the answer the commissioners think is that right now in 2022, we'll just continue to violate it because that'll fix it. We'll just approve 7 or 8 more high rises with improper drainage and no traffic study, because if we've been breaking the rules, surely breaking them some more wouldn't hurt. That's the kind of logic you get out of a BCC that has 3 ex-cops who's never left this county. And I don't even want to talk about the other 2. I mean, Tony, are you going out to Telluride, Colorado to evaluate the transportation system on the agenda? Are you serious? That's Colorado. This is Florida. What a scam ass trip, Tony. And Trey, you're not even worth mentioning, but I sent you them videos. Rarely I send you something, but I'm going to send you this one too, because y'all hadn't done a damn thing except to let the lawyers take over, and you don't know what to do about it. But Mike knows what about to do about it. He ate all the witnesses. Yep, gave him indigestion. And that's the way it was. That's my opinion. Look at him. He just looks like he's about to cough one up. On the Alan Osborne Show, y'all keep them straight out there, because these lawyers and these crooked cops and politicians, in my opinion, will just keep spending your money, polluting your bays, and stopping up your roads until you've had enough. Have you? Let me know.